Yo, what's going on, guys? So this video is pretty long overdue, but I'm here with part 2 of my Freeplay tutorial, and I will be explaining how to do the next 5 levels, which is level 6 through level 10. Before I do that, though, there's a correction I want to make since my last video. Well, there's actually 3 corrections. So first of all, in Kung Fu, the strat that I used was switching to civilian and punching at the start. But I believe right now what is actually fastest is turning on Super Minifig. So to turn on Super Minifig, you just scroll on to extra, press the button, and then press the pause button to instantly get out of the pause menu. So Super Minifig, you can't punch, but you can jetpack at the start. And instead of warping through the door at the start, you just have to jetpack over it. Because when you put on Super Minifig before you enter a level, it actually messes with your hitbox until you switch disguises. So you can't switch disguises. So you can't start with civilian and then switch to astronaut and jetpack over the door, because then that resets your hitbox. So yeah, I'm just going to show you. Just like that, it's not that precise. Just start mashing the button, and then you want to hold it down to jetpack.
Use that.
After you hit it.
I get to do another super.
All right, walk over here, and now you big jetpack over the door, and there you go. And right at the start here, you can get a jetpack before you have movement. All right, now for the second correction of this video. So in my first part, I pretty much say a way worse way to get the Kung Fu door. But there's a way easier method. So you clip. And then once you've clipped, you're going to jetpack, and then jetpack pretty much the maximum length. Pull out the chicken, and then there's a specific branch that you want to be paying attention to on the tree. And when it's on the very right edge of the screen, that's when you want to turn around. Just do one chicken, branches around the side, turn around, and boom. Very easy. Alright, so my last correction that I wanted to make for part 1 is in this laser room. Well, technically it's right after the laser room, but you start to set it up inside this laser room.
You can use the color gun to turn.
So after you upwarp and get on top of these lasers, you're going to want to switch to construction with player 2, and you can do that while you're ECGing to the door to the end of this room.
Capiche?
Yeah,
so pretty much
that might be handy in this place.
Great. Just fill in the silver color if you see a swapper, and keep a lookout for the bell pepper emerald. Call me when you get out of the
How do I fill it? Alright, so you're going to want to drill with player 2 right now. And you want to hold right. So you should appear all the way over here, right at the start. And this is the best way to do it, because if you were a civilian and you if you're an astronaut and you try to jetpack, you wouldn't make it very far. And if you're a civilian and you try to punch over here, then it would take too long to the point where you wouldn't even make it over here before the end of the cutscene. So yeah, you just want to use the drill for this. And just clip. And hit this door. Alright, so that's about it for the corrections from my first video. If you haven't seen the first video, then I would recommend you watch it, because I go over some basic stuff, and I go over the first 5 levels. So yeah, but without further ado, let's start the 6th level. So, once again, you're going to want to use Super Minifigure on this level to get that different hitbox. And we just started up. Remember that you don't want to switch disguises, you just want to walk everywhere.
Wow.
Jump on top of this desk and then jetpack up here. And what you can do, if you really want to, saves like a tiny bit.
Maybe you can do something to get their attention.
Right as you land out of a jetpack,
No.
how Chase does this animation?
Well,
Well, if you
can sneak into the hangar.
press the stick
I'll just try pressing some buttons.
Like if you start moving,
What's the worst that can
see if I can get it. Yeah, if you start moving, right as you touch the ground, then you can actually avoid this, that animation, but I wouldn't recommend going for it. Alright, you go off this railing, you big jetpack up here. You're gonna want jetpack onto this little thing on top of this, this drawer. And then big jetpack onto this light. Alright, now from here, you're gonna want to jump and then jetpack. Delay the jetpack a little bit. So yeah, you just go through that floor. Alright, then you want to jump and get onto this thing with all the planets on it. And then just jump in jetpack, and Chase will like go through here and he'll hit a door to the next section. Now right at the start of this room, you can jetpack. I didn't get it, but it's usually pretty easy.
Space rockets.
What you do when you jetpack was you would land on top of this box,
Ellie,
jetpack up here, jump on top of this box,
There should be a button
jetpack
you
up
can
here,
press to open
and
its
then you
delivery
jump off
bay.
this thing, and then do another jetpack, and do a chicken
Yeah.
line,
Why?
brush against this
Pick out
wall,
the power supply
go
back
like
there. And now the control
perpendicular to it, jump,
Right.
drop in player 2.
Hang
Yeah,
on.
you can't
It's
first try
okay.
clip for this wall,
There should be
so
some
you have to do the
high-powered
second try clip,
lasers
like
in the
this.
hangar. You can use them to
That didn't
power
work,
up the
unfortunately.
shuttle.
And then after that, you don't have to do anything else. You just beat the level. Alright, now for the next level in order, we have Scrapyard Scrap. So for this level, the cutscene actually starts before the load, so you want to start trying to skip the cutscene before it.
Hey, I know those two.
Alright, so before you can even see Chase, you want to switch into Farmer and start doing a Farmer boost. There. So what I do for this part is I walk on top of this little thing, like I walk onto it and jetpack.
Like giving her ice cream?
I think, yeah, you can just big jetpack from
to do another
the
super
ground.
build now.
I mean, I can read.
So yeah, jetpack over this gate,
I tell you,
do one chicken glide. So what you can do is you can jetpack onto this wood and then jetpack over there. But what's faster
because ladies can't work in public.
is to actually, you're going to want to jump, you drop a little bit, and then you start jetpack, and what we're going to do is we're going to jetpack onto this fridge while brushing against the wall, so that animation of landing doesn't happen.
I need to get that gate open.
Just like that, and then jump, jetpack, switch to Farmer, and then you get one Farmer boost over here.
So,
Do 1,
tell you ticklish. What?
2,
She ticklish.
3 Farmer boosts. What I do is I brush up against this little like sheet of metal, turn, jump, warp,
Yeah.
or drop in. From here, jetpack,
Really ticklish, are you?
hit a few more Farmer boosts. Be careful of this fire barrel and this cement mixer.
Yeah. So my twin sister.
You're gonna want to go like right here, walk up against the wall, turn, jump, and warp. Sometimes it doesn't work all the time. It can be really annoying. There's only a little bit of ground here that you can stand on. So what just happened might happen. And you have to adjust slightly to the left. Alright, now for this door. You don't want to go straight right for it. Because if you do that, then you won't hit it. You want to go just slightly bit more down. And if you do this turn, you hit it. So that's Scrapyard. Alright, next up is the Colossal Fossil Hustle, or the Museum. And this is a pretty short level, pretty easy level, in my opinion. You want to start by holding upright. You're going to jump onto this little desk, and then jump and jetpack. Switch to Farmer boost, jetpack, Farmer boost. And now for here, what you're going to want to do is pull out the color gun and shoot the panel. But you kind of want to go a little bit wide, because if you try to go like straight to it, Chase will start punching because there's Lego objects nearby. So, and you don't want that to happen. You want to pull out the color gun. So I'll go a little bit wide here and then pull out the color gun. And then right after shooting it, you can fit in a farmer boost before you enter the second room. And you want to start the second room as astronaut. Now you're going to want to hold upright and start jetpacking. So pretty much when you enter this room, Chase is actually midair. He like falls in. So you want to hold a jetpack right away. You don't need to jump first. You just press the button and start holding it. Now here, because there's so many enemies nearby, it kind of makes extended chicken gliding like choppy. But what that means is that whenever you farmer boost, you don't want to switch disguises. When you're like, you know, right before the roll, you don't want to switch disguises. Otherwise, then Chase will like kind of freeze in midair and it's kind of slow. So what you want to do is you just want to let go of it. And switch disguises like after it. Jump into this white flower. Jetpack up here. So there's pretty much a cutscene trigger in this area, and we're gonna go right over it. If you hit it, then you lose multiple seconds, and it's just slow. So what we want to do is we want to jetpack and the chicken glide all the way to the rocks in the back. And if you fail that chicken glide, then it's unfortunate because you hit the cutscene trigger. Go up against this wall, go to the very right, jump, drop in. So pretty much where player 2 is facing, if you would go straight forward out of bounds, then you would hit the door. So as you see, since player 2 is a bit more to the left, you want to jump right. And to hit this door, it's a little bit lower than if you were to just jump and jetpack. So what you actually want to do is you want to jump, fall a little bit, and then pull out the jetpack. So you're not too high up. So all together it looks like this. And it's pretty easy. Alright, next up we have Hot Property, or the fire station. And I would say this is one of the hardest levels in this whole run. Once you skip this cutscene, you're going to want to start mashing jump and jetpack because there's a little movement, a little window where you can jump. I didn't get it. It's pretty precise. But yeah, that's what you would want. Is you would want to jump and you want to jetpack and you want to go straight towards the door. If you don't get it, it's fine. You have to walk over there.
If you can get the door open.
Alright, walk over to this door. So what I like to do for the clip is walk up against it, I tap down right, and then I tap it again, jump, and then... So that was a bad example. I think I was a little bit too far away from the door. So, brush up against it, tap, tap, jump. Of course, if you don't get it, you can just do another work. So yeah, I guess my work is probably messed up now. So what either can happen is you can pretty much spawn on this door, which is perfect, because the trigger to get into the inside is like right in front of the door. So like, if I was over here, I would have to walk all the way to the door and then all the way to it. So yeah, so two things can happen. You can either pretty much warp and you're right past this door, or you can up warp up here. If that happens, then you just drop and then, you know, run to this door and then go this way.
Wow.
Alright, right there you can get a jetpack.
Oh, maybe if we did the same for Dundee's birthday, he wouldn't be such.
So when the screen is reappearing, so like how the screen scrolled to split the two screens, right when the screen finishes scrolling, that's when you can drop out. So inside this fire station, for some reason, warping just doesn't work at all. So the only way that we can do the warps is by dropping out every time. So brush up against this wall, turn, jump, and warp.
The last
drop
person
in.
who disappointed me fought the
Alright,
farm.
now
you know?
what we're going to want to do is we're going to hit a door
even after I
that goes
thought it was a
to
terrible
the
investment.
next part.
Anyway,
And it's right
don't
underneath this
sweat the
pole.
fire chief thing. You'll figure it
So I'll tell you the setup I used to do it.
Everybody has a
So optimally, what you want to do is you're going to want to start... So once you enter the third room, player 2 does an animation that where he goes down the pole. But player 2 just spawns right there. So ideally, you would want to move with player 2 since he can start moving right away. But when you do that, you would need to start the room as astronaut because of the jetpack jumps that I explained in part 1. Where if you switch disguises in a room, then the jetpack, it doesn't let you jetpack again if you go on like a little wall, if you like jump off a wall, pretty much. So the setup that I use doesn't extend a chicken glide to it. I just go over to it and then like fall into it as an astronaut. So what I do is I come over here and then I brush up against the back of the pole. So, okay. So I start jetpacking and then brush up against the back of the pole. And you want Chase to be like in the center, pretty much centered on the pole. So like that is probably okay. Alright, so what I do is I drop, and then once Chase is like right past the pole, I quickly tap right and then start to tap and then start to hold right. Or I quickly tap right and then start to hold left. See if I can do it. Yeah, it's pretty tough. You could probably come up with your own setup for this. You could probably do something with extended chicken gliding. Some people like try to go back and forth. So that was a pretty good example of it. So you instantly start moving to player 2. As you see, player 1 did
Time to find
the
boat
animation.
And sail it away.
I pull out the map. I don't think you really have to. I don't think it really makes a difference. It could just kind of make the game a little smoother, but I don't think it really makes a difference, so you don't have to do that if you don't want to. Jetpack onto this hat stand, and you know brush up against this fence, so that you don't get the drop, the hitting the ground animation. Jump, do another jetpack, come over here, and brush up against this wall to avoid the animation. So like that. Jump, jetpack. So for this next jetpack, you pretty much want to do it at the maximum height. We're not big jetpacking, we're just doing a normal jetpack, but you want to do it like maximum height of the jump. Over here. At the right here on the wall, you can jump off it. So this is what I meant that you would have to pretty much do the maximum height. And you stop jetpacking and you pretty much just spam jump to do another jetpack, and you can stand up here. Alright, now from here you go right, you jump up here. So what you can do is you can either jump off. So what we want to do is we want to go on top of that beam. So what you can either do is you can kind of just walk over to it, or faster, you can come over here, jetpack, go diagonally, and then land on it like that. You want to hit a farmer boost. Alright, now for the ending door of this level, it's behind the door, like the big door that you usually open by spraying the thing. So what I do is I walk through here, I go right, and then I go left, and then you hit the door. Alright, now for the final level of this video, we have level 10, Smash and Grab.
I'll wait here and keep the engine.
You're going to want to start holding right.
Get this stuff and get back down.
Okay.
Walk across here, walk across the boat. So you're at the edge of the boat, and then you jetpack, and then you ECG as far as you can make it. I think it's possible to ECG all the way right on top of this thing. But if you don't, it's obviously fine. It says you can just swim. Jump from the water onto this thing. Jetpack. So there's a trigger for a cutscene on this platform, so you're going to want to be wary of that. So you go around, and you can go like that. Pretty much. To avoid the trigger. Alright, and now, on this wall, pretty much where that line is, that's under 1D, the line that goes through D, that's pretty much the point where if you go past it, you trigger that cutscene, which we don't want. So just go to the very left of the line, and then we're gonna want to clip through the wall here. The clips here, for some reason, is very weird. Like, it's possible to first try clip, but it's not really. Whoa. All right, that was interesting, but yeah, if you don't, then just turn around and try again. All right, here we're gonna hit the door that goes to the next area. We pretty much line up with the center of this pipe, and then you just go forward. You go forward and you hit it. Sometimes the camera's a little different there, which makes setting it up pretty weird.
Where would I hide my vote?
But yeah, that's pretty much where the door is.
Oh, right.
Here, switch to farmer, do a farmer boost. What I do is I run up against this wall, go back, jump, and then warp. And ideally, this would happen where Chase would spawn on top of that little Lego panel, and then just do another warp from here, and then you're going to want to hold left and do a jetpack, and then you'll be at the end of the level. And there you have it.